Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'm going to be doing my August wrap up. So August was a bit of a crazy month for me. My grandmother passed away on August 16th, so that's been kind of a whirlwind for us. Like, we knew it was coming. She had breast cancer and she originally got diagnosed in 2015 and she beat it, but earlier this year it came back a lot stronger and it spread everywhere. So yeah, it's been hard, and like, we knew it was coming, but it's still hard to process and get your head around it. So it's been like a bit of a up and down month, and so I don't know, like, I didn't really want to do a wrap up just because it has made me very upset, and I don't know, part of me still doesn't believe it, but she really enjoyed kind of watching my videos and all that stuff. But if you see me in videos wearing this, there's a locket that goes with this, but we had to send it to the jeweler. But this was my yaya's engagement ring, so I just always wear that. But I thought I'd let you guys know. It has been very hard, just kind of with that, and she was such a big part of my life, and I'm very lucky to have someone who's been so interwoven in the fabric of my life. So, and that's what makes saying goodbye even harder. But I have my good days and bad days, but I'll try to stay upbeat in this one. But yeah, I thought I'd just kind of preface this with what's going on. If I kind of seem not my usual self in these videos, like the ones up until this point have been pre-filmed before it even happened. So yeah, this is like my first time filming a video since it happened, so yeah. But anyway, despite everything going on this month, I did read 4 books and 1 audiobook. I also did an August vlog on my other channel, and then I kind of show some of the things that were buried with my yaya, like some of the things that I made her. This kind of in her casket, that it had like a little secret compartment, and my grandpa wanted it to be where the grandchildren could like put like notes or little tokens. So if you want to go check that out, it's in there as well if you want to go see. But kind of back to the books here, I did read 4 books, like I said, and 4 books and 1 audiobook. So let's just go ahead and get started. So starting out this month, I first read Homo, Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow by Yuval Noah Harari, and I didn't really know how to feel about it. I gave it a 2.75 out of 5 stars. I did find the first chapter really interesting, where it's talking like basically what this back of the book is: war is obsolete, you're more likely to commit suicide than be killed in conflict, famine is disappearing, you're at more risk of obesity than starvation, and death is just a technical problem, equality is out but immortality is in. And so like, I really enjoyed that aspect where it was talking about kind of the future and kind of how that has all changed over the course of like human history, but it still focused so much on religion, and I'm not religious, so I don't get a lot of the references in here, and he kind of just goes on and on about it. So I was really just disappointed in here. I appreciate the research that went in here and just everything he's trying to tackle, but I feel like he didn't really talk about where humans are going. He's kind of talking about the same things that were in the last book and just kind of twisting it to talk about where we're moving now. So yeah, I was really actually very disappointed in this because I had really high hopes in it. But yeah, I was really, even with Sapiens too, I had really high expectations, and then I was really kind of disappointed in it. So yeah, I wasn't like the happiest about this one. And so this was a book that I was really excited about coming out this month, and it was Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and this is the spin-off series that's in connection to the Remnant Chronicles. And so this takes place 6 years after the last book, and I'm trying to be vague here because I don't want to spoil anything from the last one, but I do have a spoiler-free review if you want to go and check that out. I'll link that up in the cards. But this book was so good. I think if you were wanting to get into this series, I recommend starting with the first trilogy first. It's because there are characters in there that are in here that are referenced, and their events, the events that took place in the last one, are relevant in here. So this kind of follows Kazi, who is part of the there's like a special name for it, but like the Queen's Guard essentially, and so they're sent out on a task to kind of find out something. Like there's the one villain in the last series, kind of something with him. I'm trying to be vague so you don't know too much about it, but something related to the villain of the first trilogy, and so that kind of sets her out on a quest, and she kind of stumbles paths with this other guy as well. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name, but so Jace is the other guy, and he has just become king of his little like area. I wouldn't even call it like a town, but he's become king, and they're at very different viewpoints, but they kind of get thrown together and have to work together to get out of a tough situation, and they start falling in love. And so this one ended on such a big cliffhanger. Like I cannot wait to see what happens in the next one. I love Mary E. Pearson's writing, and I was totally engrossed in this book. This book is just over 500 pages, and I finished it in less than a week, and that's how much I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend you check out the Remnant Chronicles first if you want to pick this one up, because it just keeps getting better and better, and I cannot wait to see what the next book has in store. And around this time too, I also ended up finishing the audiobook for Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. This isn't my favorite book of the series. I think it's just because I'm not a big spiders person. Like I hate spiders, and so this one has a lot of spiders in it, and I think that's why, and Hermione's not in it a lot. But yeah, I think I've been kind of, I think because with everything going on with my yaya and like the stress of there, I wanted something that would make me happy and nostalgic, and so I listened to The Philosopher's Stone last month, and then Chamber of Secrets, so come October I can do the illustrated edition of The Prisoner of Azkaban. So I've been trying to get that nostalgia factor again, and something that can make me happy and distract me for a little bit. So and when I was listening to this audiobook is when she passed away, so that really kind of helped distract me a little bit for a little piece of time. So yeah. Next, I also ended up picking up the Guernsey, I can never say it. I've asked you to help me pronounce it, but I can't. Literary Potato Peel Society by Marianne Shaffer and Annie Barrows. And this basically follows this woman who is writing she was, during the World War II, she was kind of a comedic writer to kind of build morale, and so she's trying to do something a little bit more, have more meaning and have more depth to it. So she ends up crossing, like someone sends her a letter from Guernsey, and it kind of takes off from there. She learns about this small island off the coast of England that was overtaken by the Nazis, and just how their literary society came about. And so it's told through letters, and that was something really unique for me because I haven't read a World War II historical fiction book that was told in that way, and it did take me a while to get into it, but once you kind of figure out the characters and the back and forth, I really liked it. And so this is also a movie on Netflix now with a lot of people that were in Downton Abbey, so I wanted to finish this before I watched the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm thinking after Labor Day I think I'll be able to watch it. So yeah, I really liked it actually. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I really kind of grew in love with these characters in this town and just seeing what they had to do to survive. I really liked that. So this book was really good, and it was a very quick read too, which I liked as well. And lastly, I think this is probably one of my favorite books of 2018, and it was The Alice Network by Kate Quinn. I just finished this yesterday, and oh my gosh, you guys, it was amazing. So it follows basically 2 women over the course of 2 wars. So when Charlie St. Clair steps off the boat in England with her mother, they're on their way to Switzerland because she is pregnant and they're trying to get rid of it essentially, but she has this note or this name and address scribbled on a piece of paper, and so she decides to go after that person because her cousin has went missing after during World War II, and this is a couple years after the war, and so she's determined to find out what happened to her cousin Rose, and so Charlie ends up on Eve's doorstep, and it kind of takes off from there. She's very adamant about not helping Charlie find her cousin and all of this stuff until she hears a name she hasn't heard in 30 years, and that leads him on to the hunt for Rose's cousin, and then also or for Charlie's cousin, and then also Eve kind of has something else going on. And so what's unique about this is that it kind of has a dual storyline. So not only are we following Charlie and Eve and Finn as they go in search of Rose and this mysterious man, but also we get flashback to World War I, where Eve is a spy during in France, and just kind of a lot of the parallels with their storyline. I fell in love with this book right away. It was truly remarkable, and I think what was unique about it is that it does showcase a strong female characters and their relationships during the war, which I really appreciated, and especially with Eve and Charlie, we get to kind of see their relationship develop and just kind of see how they've their parallel storylines makes their relationship even stronger, and I loved seeing it bloom and blossom, and I really enjoyed this book, and I flew through it. It's just under 500 pages. It doesn't seem like that, but it goes by very quickly. I would just read for a little bit, look up, and be like, wow, I just read 60 pages. So it was really good. So if you're looking for something, this one I haven't been this invested in a World War historical fiction novel since The Nightingale, and this one was very up that alley. I had the same feelings that I had reading that book as I did this, so I loved it. So I highly recommend it if you're not even in historical fiction. I think you would really like this, and it talks about like the spy network and all this stuff. And what's unique about this one is also some of the characters in here are loosely based off of actual real life people. So like one character in here is known as the Queen of Spies, and so she was a real person that kind of this fictional story was kind of revolved around, which was really unique, and I loved it. And this was definitely everything that was going on. I was happy to end the month on this high note. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books or what you read this month. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.